Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel today. We are stepping out of the theoretical clouds and getting our hands dirty, well, metaphorically, with something you use every single day. Solutions. Whether you're stirring sugar into your morning tea, mixing a protein shake, or trying to figure out why your salt water aquarium looks a bit off. You're dealing with the science of dissolving. In the lab, getting the concentration right is the difference between a successful experiment and a total disaster. Today I am doing to show you how to master the art of pressing mixing. Let's dive in. Before we start calculating, we need to speak the language. A solution is just a fancy name for a homogeneous mixture, meaning it looks the same throughout. It's made of two parts. The solute, that's the stuff that gets dissolved, like the salt or sugar. And the solvent, that's the host that does the dissolving. Usually water our universal solvent. But here's a pro tip. Solutions aren't just liquids. Check this out. Air is a gas solution. Nitrogen, oxygen, and other gases mix perfectly. And thus brass fitting and on your sink. That's a solid solution of copper and zinc colored an alloy. In chemistry, a solution is any perfect mix regardless of its state. So what actually happens when you drop salt into water? It's not magic, it's molecular battle. This process is called solvation. First, the water molecules, the solvent, have to push the salt ions, the salt apart. Then the water molecules surround each ion like a protective shield. When the solvent is water, we call this a hydration shell. Think of it like a dense floor. Water molecules are the dancers surrounding the salt ions, keeping them from sticking back together. If the solvent-solute attraction is stronger than the solute bond, boom, you have a solution. Can you just keep adding salt forever? No, every solvent has a limit. Imagine a movie theater. Unsaturated, unsaturated, there are still plenty of empty seats. You can add more salt and it will dissolve easily. Saturated, every single seat is taken. If one more person tries to sit down, they will just have to stand in the aisle. And a solution that excess salt just sinks to the bottom and super saturated. This is a glitch in the matrix. By heating the solvent, you can force it to hold more salt than it normally should. But be careful, it's super unstable. One tiny tap and all that extra salt crashes out as crystals, and it's one of the coolest visual experiments you can do. Why does sugar dissolve instantly in hot coffee but takes forever in iced tea? It's all about energy. High temperature means faster moving molecules, which breaks down the salt much quicker. But watch out for gases. Gases are the opposite. They actually hate heat. If you have ever wondered why warm soda gas flat faster than cold one, that's why. The gas molecules gain so much energy they escape the liquid. Also, pressure matters for gases. That psh sound when you open a can is the pressure dropping and the CO2 rushing out. That's a Henry law in action. Now for the math. Don't panic. It's easier than it looks. Mass percent is what you see on back of a bleach bottle or a saline solution. It's just solute divided by total mass of solution and times to 100%. Easy, right? But in the lab, we use the gold standard molarity. Chemists don't care about grams as much as we care about how many particles are reacting. Molarity is moles per liter. It tells us the strength of the solution in a way that maps directly to our chemical equations. If you see 2M H-chlor on a bottle, you know exactly how many molecules you're dealing with per liter. Most of the time, we don't start from scratch. We have a stock solution that's super strong, and we need to water it down. This is where you use most famous formula in chemistry, the dilution formula. Think of it like frozen orange juice concentrate. You have a small volume of very strong juice. You add water until you have a full pitcher of drinkable juice. The amount of juice doesn't change, only the amount of water does. This formula will save your life during practicals, trust me. Finally, uh, let's talk gear. Uh, to be to be a pro, you need the right tools. Volumetric flasks. They are for precision. We'll fill them until the bottom of the liquid curve, the meniscus, touches the line. Pipettes for when every drop counts. Remember, weight accurately. Rinse your glassware with a bit of solution first and always label your bottles. So, what's the most common solution you in your life? Is it your sports drink, the ocean? Let me know in the comments. If this helped you understand concentration a bit better, hit that like button and subscribe for more chemistry hacks. Stay curious and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Next to you later.